Hello, everyone. Let me start with asking you, do you think after genocide, is it possible to forgive? What I'm sharing you today has been my personal journey toward the forgiveness, building a future, as just has been my country, Rwanda. First, what is genocide? The genocide defined as intentional destruction of a group of people based on their race, their religion, their ethnicity, and their country. For example, when the Holocaust happened, the world said never again. Unfortunately, in 1994, the world failed Rwanda and genocide happened. The genocide against Tutsi didn't happen and took place in 1994 only. The Hutu, the Tutsi, and the Twa, as a socio-economic classification, they've been living together for centuries together. They spoke the same language. They shared the same values and the same culture. There were no massacre between Hutu and Tutsi before 1959. In the earliest 20th century, the German, then Belgians, they occupied Rwanda. They introduced the politics of division. Tutsi were discriminated. And this is the root of the genocide. With a full support of colonial power, the extremist Hutu started the violence against the Tutsi in 1959. 10,000 of Tutsi were killed. Hundreds of thousands of Tutsi fled the country. And this continued until 1994, where 1 million of Tutsi been killed in only 100 days. When it started, on 7th of April, 1994, we woke up in the morning and we found roadblocks and everywhere, every street in my village. We had a small meeting at home. My mother advised me to leave and find a hiding at my friend Peter. He was a Hutu. My family used to pay money to militias so that they can save them. Of course, money and food have saved them for a couple of days. Peter's family was poor. They ate just once a day. My mother used to bring me food each and every night and tell me the situation at home. On 13th of April, in 1994, she brought me beans, passion fruits, and some vegetables. And she said, "My son, I know you don't like beans, but please try. This is what remain our home." That time she was different. She was tired and hopeless. Of course, she knew something awful would happen soon. She looked at me again and she said, "My son, we may not see each other again, but if you survive, please be strong and be a man." And that's very, very strong in my own family and own tradition. That was true because on the 14th of April, 1994, she was killed with a machete and clubs. She was killed with my stepfather and my 4 sisters. In only 48 hours, my family were reduced from 8 to 2. They also killed my extended family. 80 members of my family, extended family, have been wiped out. This is horrible. My country, as the president of Rwanda said, in 1994, it was completely devastated. But the spirit of Rwanda never died. Today, the Hutu, the Tutsi, and Twa, they're building the country together. When the genocide was stopped in 1994 by Rwanda Patriotic Front, they put an end the identity card that marks ethnicity, which they divided us. They also abolished the death penalty, but we needed justice to heal and restore our community. We went back in our tradition on how we used to resolve our intercommunal conflict. And we established the community-based court called the Gacaca. Gacaca laid the foundation of forgiveness and reconciliation. And those who confessed and asked for forgiveness, their sentences were reduced. This is the Kigali Genocide. It's a final resting place of more than 250,000 victims of genocide. My parents, my 4 sisters, are in one of the mass graves here. Many survivors consider this memorial as their home. It's truly our home. It's my home, but also my workplace. 10 years after genocide, I joined a team that was building this memorial on behalf of government and survivors. Let me tell you how in Rwanda we achieved forgiveness after 1994 genocide against Tutsi. In Rwanda, we made a choice that remembering is also healing, but also we need tools to be able to heal the nation. In 2008, I was asked to build and to develop the peace education program, which I did. The backbone of this education program I built up is the power of storytelling. The program changes hearts and minds, but also develops the skills such as critical thinking, empathy, personal responsibility, such as active listening, nonviolent communication, but most importantly, it equips individuals with the skills and the tools to resolve their own conflict amicably and constructively. We also go through the path to violence and the path to benevolence. Another tool we use is a workshop around forgiveness. This workshop helps people to reflect about forgiveness, how forgiveness is a personal journey. It's a process. It may be difficult. It may be taking time, but it's possible. And when you go through it, you are free. This is very important because in Rwanda, in their strength of survivors, many survivors made the choice to forgive those who wronged them, which is set a profound example on the power of a human spirit. An example I want to give you is this lady. Her name is Maria. Maria forgiven Philbert. Philbert was among the people who killed her 7 children and her husband. That's the power of forgiveness. Let me tell you about myself. 1 year ago, I sat with this man. His name is Samson. Samson was the leader of people who murdered my family in 1994. I visited him in a prison. I wanted to understand how they came up to kill my family, but also I want to understand, is he truly sorry? In my conversation with Samson, I came to realize that he doesn't want to tell me the whole truth. And let me tell you something. When someone doesn't tell you the full truth and is not telling you the whole story, it's difficult to forgive, right? Right? Last month, I went back in the same prison, and I sat down with Juvenile. Juvenile is another perpetrator who was together with Samson. They're all my neighbors, by the way. Juvenile was able to tell me the whole truth. He told even things I never know before. But Juvenile, willingness to tell me the whole story, the whole truth, the fact that Juvenile was much more open to me, that made me ready to forgive him. I know forgiveness is difficult for many, but let me tell you something. Forgiveness is not excusing what happened. Forgiveness is not forgetting. Also, forgiveness doesn't only benefit those who committed crime, who committed injustice to people, but forgiveness is only also for my own health. It helps you to free yourself from the chain of resentment and embrace the future and go forward and experience peace and happiness. The psychologists have already shown that there is a relationship between forgiveness and well-being. Toxic anger really kills us. It makes us sick. So, as my advice, please see humanity in the people who hurt you. You'll be set free. And this is the power, again, of forgiveness. Forgiveness can heal the society. Forgiveness can rebuild the society. Look at Rwanda. Today, according to Safety Index, Rwanda is the safest country in Africa. Rwanda is a thriving economy. According to its 2050 vision, Rwanda is aspiring to be upper middle income country in 2035. Why this is happening? Because Rwanda made a choice to unite, to reconcile, but also, most importantly, to embrace the power of forgiveness. Thank you very much.